What's up, YouTube? So I'm working on a 2012 Nissan Rogue, and I'm actually changing the blower motor and the blower motor resistor. The camera is going to be a little shaky. I can't put it on a tripod, working on very limited space right here. The blower motor is up, right up in here is where the motor is, and the resistor is right back here. So I'll try to get the best shots I can, but to do that job, the brake and accelerator pedals, those have to come off, and this panel right here, so I could get up and under the dash to pull the fan out. Now for starters, I disconnected the battery. So to take this panel off, there's a screw right here. And it's T20 Torx. Now once that's out, just pop the entire panel off. And it's going to be held in by this side piece right here. Now once this is off, I gotta disconnect the hood latch cable and take this harness off for the OBD2. And for this, it's just 2 tabs on the connector. You just got to get a needle nose pliers in there, squeeze those tabs, pop the connector out. For the OBD2 is this tab right here. Is one right here at the bottom and one up top. You just want to get like a pocket screwdriver, stick in there to squeeze those, and this pops out this way. Same on this. 2 tabs, you just want to squeeze them, and this connector pops right out. So that's what the tabs on the connector look like. So you just get your needle nose, squeeze that, and it pulls right out. The OBD2, just want to squeeze these tabs and it pops right out. And then remove the hood latch cable. You just want to push on this little ball right here, push it out of that slot, and the cable slides out, and then it could get detached from this little section right here. Now from here, you got to remove these 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're 10mm. Pop that off. So now I just gotta pop this duct off for the air. If you pull hard enough, it'll snap out. It's like a little tab here. Then on this side is a little clip. And from here, gotta take this bolt out, and above it there's another one. and it's just it's a nut actually. So pretty much I'm using a 1/4 inch drive, and I'm using a 10 on a universal swivel. You could see it up there, and I'll just attach my ratchet to the end and back that nut out. And from here, just grab this and just work it out slowly. Now to take these connectors off, if you look on the side right here, there's a little opening. You just want to get a flathead pocket screwdriver, stick that in there, and what it's going to do is push on a little tab, and once you push it in, you just pop the connector right out. There it goes. So the screwdriver pushes on this tab right here, and the same for this one. Pop right out. These connectors are pretty much the same as the same clips as the panel that I took off earlier. So it's just to get a needle nose, try to get up in there. It's kind of difficult, but squeeze, try to push the tab out. Cut that out, just move it up and out of the way. Same goes for this one. So tap in the back, gotta squeeze it. Once we have this out, and that's how it looks, squeeze these two and it pops out. Then we have the accelerator connector, and it's just to squeeze on the side and unplug that. That's unplugged. That's where you squeeze. You just push in on that, and right up in here is another connector for the cable. You just gotta pinch that and move this cable out of the way. So at this point is just to remove this clip, pop that out, and then there's a little white tab, or a little retaining tab. You just want to squeeze it in and push this pin out. That's what's holding the brake pedal in. Push it out. Grab it from the opposite side. And pull it out. This is it. And from here, there are 4 nuts that holds on the pedal assembly. The brake and the accelerator pedal is actually on one assembly. And this is a 13 mil. Want to pop that out. Here's one up here, up top. pop that out also. One over on this side. Got that one out. The last one's up top. Going in with an extension and a swivel. And it's 4 of them. Now from here, the whole assembly should be able to just wiggle it right out. Just double check, make sure no cables are connected. And there we have it, the whole unit as one piece. So coming in from the door, you go right up, that's where the pedals were. Go in and up, and that's the blower motor right there with those 2 wires coming out of it. Just gotta squeeze the tab, unplug that, and then take that screw out. So we're unplugging this connector, and then we're taking that screw out, and that's just a regular Phillips head screw. It's not in there tight, it's just to prevent the motor from backing out. And once that's out, the blower motor should come out. And I'm also doing the resistor, and the resistor is right here. Those 2 Phillips head, unplug the connector, take those Phillips head out, and just pull the assembly out. And again, for reference, it's on the firewall, behind the firewall, to the right of the brake and accelerator pedals. So you could see here I got the resistor unplug. I back the 2 screws out, and those stay in place. And when I'm pulling the resistor out, this little lip right here, you just got to navigate it around it. There we go. There you go. So they'll just match up old versus new, just to make sure everything looks the same, and it does. Same connectors. So good to go. Here, got the new one installed. Got the plug. Snaps right in. Screws are in nice and tight. And now for the fan. So I already got the connector unplugged. I just gotta take that screw out that I mentioned, this one, that screw right here. I took that out, and the trick to take the fan out is to rotate it counterclockwise. You're gonna hear it snap. So you turn it counterclockwise. That's why it's not lined up with the screw hole anymore. So once that's turned, then you just pull the fan straight out. Now it's kind of tricky getting it past where the pedals were, so you just got to kind of navigate it, find different angles to twist and turn it until you get it out, but it's doable. So here we have both fans, new one, old one. Just want to check, make sure they're identical or as close as possible. And they're the same. Want to check the connector. That's the new one. It's the same on the old one. And if I spin this one, this is the new one. Spins nice and quiet. If you listen to the old one, hear that noise. So now I'll just put the new one in. And just to show you the fan connector, it's a tab on the side that you push in to pop the connector out. And I had to try to find a way to get both hands in there so I could have like 2 fingers pulling on the wire upwards while I try to squeeze another finger in there to push on the connector. And you can see the fan is in. I rotated clockwise, I snapped it in, then rotated. So now the screw hole lines up. I just got to put the screw in, plug the connector back in, and start putting everything back together. And there you go. And all that screw does is just there to prevent the fan from turning counterclockwise and popping out. So it doesn't have to be super tight. You just put it in a few turns, get it snug, and make sure your connector's in, and you're set as far as replacing the fan and the fan resistor. Okay, so I got the pedal assembly in. Make sure all the bolts are in, the 4 bolts. But before you do that, you got to make sure the pedal is sitting between this fork right here. You can see that it's 2 parts to it, and the pedal is sitting between both of them. Then I put the pin, and once I got the pin in, then I use the clip to hold it, and I just spread those white tabs apart just a little bit. That's grease on it. It had grease before. That's the only grease I had, so I just put some on it. But I spread these 2 white tabs apart, and I could be wrong, but I think those tabs are actually a backup to this retaining clip. So if that clip was to pop out for any reason, which I don't see it happening, but if it does, then at least the pin would not slide out. These 2 white tabs would actually prevent it from sliding out. And from here, it's just to plug all the connectors back in, snap the wire looms back in place, and move on to the next step. Connectors plugged up. The accelerator connector, that's plugged in. The brake plugged in. This bracket is back in. Got that bolt, and then the one all the way up top that's kind of hard to get to, right up in here. Use the swivel for that. 1/4 inch. This bracket is back on. 4 bolts. We installed the vent for the feet, and just make sure that tab is seated right. The vent, the opening on the vent actually goes over the tab, not under it. But once you put it in, it should just have minimum movement. The hood release cable. The OBD2 port. Panel. Snaps right in. And the side panel. Now, I didn't take any shots of the problem I had, but basically what had happened was when the vehicle is running and you turn the fan on, doesn't matter where you put it, nothing happened. High, low, nothing happens, AC or heat. But if I bang on the side right here where the fan is, just kind of bang it a little bit, the fan would start spinning, but it'll be very loud. And then when I come here, it'll work on maybe, let's say right here on low. If I go to halfway point, nothing. It'll still be low, but not speeding up. And if I go a little bit on high, it won't go to the maximum high, but it'll be like around medium, let's say. So at that point, I determined the blower motor was bad, and the resistor is what controls how much how fast the fan turns. So I determined those two were bad, and now I'll be able to test it. So here I have the key. Pop the key in. I'm not gonna start it, but I'm just gonna put the key to the on position. See, the fan is off. You could hear the fan going. Air is coming out. If I go high, medium, you could hear it. High, you hear the difference. So that's what it was not doing before. So now it's good, the fan and the resistor. And on this vehicle, I would actually suggest, if you're doing the fan, just go ahead and do the resistor also. They're both pretty much the same procedure to get to both of them. Got to take the pedals off to get to either one of them. So I'd rather spend the extra $30 to get a resistor and pop that in also. Battery's nice and secure. Cable's back on. Now please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.